her background is nerd.
Darren should have gone to school here instead of Cutter, because you are a devil. I can tell you that right now.
She rolls in like she's a Hollywood movie star now. She just here, she's just here for the camera.
I guess I tooted.
No hard-hitting questions here.
Yeah, Shall we talk about my one-sentence resignation?
Well, welcome again to the next edition of Spilling the Tea in Studio D. And today the D is, I don't know, disaster, right?
Yeah. It's a little bit of a disaster.
Yeah, but not too bad.
Maybe not disaster.
Yeah.
I'll clap together.
That's right. Thank goodness we got three incredible guests to save this thing, right?
Yes, we do.
So we got Coach Ben Lewis, right?
That's right.
And then young ladies, if you'll introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Michaela Tedder.
I'm Madeline Tankersley.
All right. And they are all part of the athletic, what's the word I'm looking for here, trainer program that you guys have. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll start with you, Coach. Kind of tell us what led you to athletic training, but more so to bringing it to public schools.
Sure. So, I mean, I had an interest in sports growing up and participating and all that. And then I started majoring in athletic training back in 2011 and, graduated, got my license to practice and all that, and went into the clinical setting, which is where I saw myself heading. And that took me to Little Rock, the North Little Rock area. But then I heard a job back here at Lakeside came open for a teaching role. That also involves sports medicine coverage and all that. And that's not really something I had considered before, but, it was a job back home, and I thought it's something I could do and do well and invest in. So came back and took that job, and that was 9 years ago at this point. So been through a lot of students since then. So it was a really good decision I made, I think, looking back, and a good fit.
Right.
Awesome.
So is Hot Springs home for you?
It is.
Where'd you go to high school?
Yeah, I was homeschooled.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting. I'm a high school teacher who was homeschooled. So
I got you.
My first day in a classroom in 2016 was my first day in a classroom.
Right.
So
yeah.
my reference was college and college classrooms, and I just kind of ran it that way and went from there.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So how many students do you have in the program right now?
Right now in the classroom, I think it's just under 90. And then intern-wise, we normally take 5, 7, 8, somewhere in there. And then the HOSA team is always 10. That's our limit. So quite a few kids between all three areas.
Okay, so let's progress through that program. They come in as freshmen.
Mm-hmm. The earliest they can take a class is freshmen. And then we have classes level 1, 2, and 3. And in the past, we've had, in order to internship, you had to be a junior or senior. This year, we're looking at adding kind of a part-time sophomore team. We've had a lot of younger kids interested. They see what we do, what we're accomplishing, and they just say, hey, I want to be a part of that. And so we're trying to figure out a way to integrate those younger kids as well. But, yeah, freshmen, they can come in and start taking classes. And then the intern program, and then for the really dedicated ones, the HOSA team, the competitive team is where we try to place them.
Right. Now, what does HOSA stand for?
That is Health Occupation Students of America.
Okay.
So that's a national, sort of international organization. It's geared towards middle school, secondary, and collegiate students who want to be in the medical field and prepping them for that.
Right. Well, with that being said, I guess we got a state winner right here in Michaela Tedder, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So what was the competition that you crushed everybody in?
So we competed, obviously, in the sports medicine category. Mm-hmm. And what that entails is we take a written test. This year, it was at school. We normally go on site to take it.
Right.
But we took it at school a month before the actual competition. And the written test is 50 questions in an hour based off a bunch of different textbooks of material that we read and learn throughout the year. And then we get there and we figure out who made round two. Round two is a practical where they pick from 6 different practical situations where we assess an athlete and then treat them based off of that story. And then from there, they pick the top 3 that medal then and qualify for nationals.
Okay, so that being said, nationals, I understand, going to be in Nashville. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay,
yeah.
Y'all looking forward to that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How many folks will be competing here?
At nationals? for reference, so last year in Houston, there were 92 categories to compete in, and there were just under 12,000 competitors.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be a lot. It's a little spread. Of course, that's not all sports med, but it's a lot of people.
I got you.
Wow.
And so did you compete as well?
I did, yes. I got second.
Oh.
So in the state this
That's
year.
awesome.
Awesome.
So do you go to nationals too as second place?
Yes. So
Okay,
and we
good.
ended up sweeping this year. How many
Oh,
years
wow.
have we swept?
That's 3 years in a row. We took
Wow.
gold, silver, and bronze.
Shout out.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are seniors this year?
Yeah.
I'm a
Junior.
senior.
Okay.
Senior?
Right.
Senior,
right.
junior. Is that what you said?
I'm a senior.
I'm
She's
a junior.
junior.
Yes.
Okay. So do y'all plan on taking this to the next level in college? I mean, is that what you're looking at?
Yes.
I'm pursuing a career in physical therapy right now.
And I'll do the same.
Okay.
Hopefully.
That is awesome.
Well, I do know Michaela's working because she had to fill in one day for. I was in there getting physical therapy on the old back. Did a great job, I tell you what. So she's well on her way.
You didn't know you were going to come podcast with somebody that was helping.
No,
with
that
physical
yeah,
therapy.
well, kind of. You know how that goes. So
know it.
so when did it become an interest to you, Coach, as far as the training side of things?
Sure. Well, I've had a lot of kids ask me that, and a lot of people have a fancy story about how they came to be somewhere. It feels like it was a little bit of just luck and me just, I had a little bit of interest and signed up, and it ended up being the perfect decision. So there's really no grand story of growing up and interest in this being my ultimate goal, but I fell into it, and it's a really, really good fit and a good decision I made, I think.
Okay.
But like I said, from that, taking the job at Lakeside, I knew it was the right fit, and it's been a really good time.
Yeah. So where did you go to college to get your background?
Henderson.
Henderson.
Yeah,
Okay.
I graduated
Yeah.
Henderson in 2013.
Go Reddies.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and it's really interesting you say that because education really wasn't on my radar when I started out either. So, looking back on it, I really think I appreciate it more probably coming, and like I say, I'm very blessed. The good Lord just put me in situations where it was in front of kids
Exactly.
and really had that tug. So
Good.
I can totally relate to that.
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
been great. Oh, go ahead.
coming from, especially I mentioned like a homeschool background, school teacher is the last thing I would have put on my list of where I'm going to end up.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that I
Right.
did. So
yeah.
glad.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're in a great place. We
Yeah.
both
Yeah. Worked here.
worked here, been friends
Right.
for a little bit.
Yeah. We didn't derail the train
our-
too much. They're
yeah.
still going.
Still going.
Doing quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our 29 years
Yeah.
in
Wow.
education.
Awesome.
So,
flies.
what about the two of y'all? I mean, early on, I know you start talking careers. It seems like earlier and earlier. Is this something you always thought you wanted to do, or was it something when you saw it out there and it was presented at school? You're like, hey, that may be something I'd like to try.
So for me, that came when I've always been interested in science and specifically like biology, like the human
Right.
body type things. And so when I started being on the HOSA team last year and then I became an ATSA this year, I learned that I was like really interested in like the rehabilitation side of the medical field. So then I got my job as a tech at Elevation, and that really kind of pointed me towards the right direction because I really enjoy that. I really enjoy the relationships I build with people. It's just been a great experience all around for me.
I
Right.
love it.
Kind of the same thing. I've been that type of person. I've been ready to graduate high school and be out on my own, and since I was since a freshman probably.
Right.
But I've kind of had this gear towards physical therapy probably since about 7th grade or so.
Gotcha.
My whole family has been involved in the medical field. My mom is an RN now in case management. My dad was an X-ray tech at the hospital. My sister's an ICU nurse. So
Wow.
it's kind of just been something I've always grown up around.
Right.
So, and then also being able to pursue a passion that was geared towards helping people.
Yeah.
And I've loved sports medicine, so I thought specializing in sports medicine as a physical therapist would be my end goal.
Right.
Well,
That's awesome.
you're getting hired as a PT technician as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She'll be in the clinical setting too.
Okay, so the good thing I guess about having this on campus, you guys actually serve as trainers or the training squad for all the athletic programs here, right?
We do. Yes. Grades 7 through 12. So
Okay,
when we're not in a classroom or competing or studying, we're on the field. It
Right.
feels like a 24/7 deal. But
yeah.
Is
So what kind of team? Let's just take we'll pluck football out of the air. How big is the team that do you take to get those guys ready
to work with
Rap and all
football.
that?
Well, so let's say on a normal day during football season, they end class at 6th period bell, and then their 7th period is actually a work-based learning period. So
Right.
during athletics, they're assigned to this room to be working with athletes, and we kind of split them. We've got the training room in the complex for other sports. We'll put maybe 2 up there and staff 5 kids down here. And so football's coming in for tape and all the treatments to get ready for practice. And then 3:10, 3:15, it's field time, and all of us get together, whole team, and we hit the fields and cover until end, whether it's a game or practice. So it's almost an all hands on deck kind of thing.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I'll ask this of both of y'all. What's your favorite thing about working with the athletic squad and least favorite thing?
My favorite part of being an ATSA would be probably just the relationships that you build with each other, and also with like everyone on campus, because we see a variety of people throughout the week, teachers, athletes, students, coaches, really a lot of different people, and you get to know those people throughout the year pretty well. So that would be my favorite thing. Least favorite thing.
Yeah, what you got?
Probably like the 6 a.m. football practices that we had to be at.
6 a.m., that's nothing.
Those would probably be my least favorite.
Oh my goodness. I could barely get to work at 8.
That ain't no lie. So what about you?
I think probably my favorite thing throughout the whole experience of being involved in the program was, everybody thinks they want to go into the medical field, but you don't know necessarily what you want to do in the medical field. So it's been very insightful for me to, even though that I had this preconceived notion that I was going to go into PT, that was going to be my thing. What specialty I was going to enter, if I really enjoyed it, if I enjoyed around being athletes and the environment and everything. And I've just grown to love it, and it's definitely something that I think I'll be super happy in pursuing in the future.
So least favorite thing?
Probably the same thing. And I think it was at 4 a.m., not 6 a.m. in the summer.
Oh, no. I'd be out.
No, what about the getting home from 2 a.m. on a Friday night sometimes? Is that better for you? You like that better? Is that fine?
As long as they can sleep in.
Still not great. Right.
I love that you guys have the heart just for helping people. My daughter is an x-ray tech too. She didn't want to go into education, but she's still helping others. And I love that. You're going to have a job forever.
Well, and I guess, the athletic training is such a behind the scenes thing. A lot of folks take that for granted. But I mean, in the course of a ball game, or let's even, if you host a tournament, for instance, I guess you guys are there to help out as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. If it's on Lakeside campus, we're most likely involved. But you're right. It is a very much behind the scenes, and sometimes kind of the darker side of things. When you're dealing with real bad injuries or season ending things, when the game is over and the broadcast and the lights go down, we're still having to handle some things. So that's right.
Yeah. And I guess that's one thing too. If somebody does have a fairly severe injury, let's just say, on the field of competition, I mean, how deep do y'all go as far as being able to treat it right there?
Well, of course, it depends on the injury, but in a case where it does exceed our scope of practice, we have licensed physicians that are kind of our overseeing physicians or team doctors, and we're always in communication now, especially even on home football games. They're right there with us.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it's a scenario like that where we've got doctor, and if we need to refer out, it's immediate, or they're at least on call. So, if it's something we can't handle, we've got the whole sports med team ready to go, ready to roll.
Right. But I mean, let's just say a knee injury and you had to mobilize it. You guys are...
Sure. We've got everything. We got the crutches, the mobilization, the game readies, the compression. We've got a lot of treatments on hand.
Right. I would imagine it's pretty fast paced though. What's probably the fastest paced sport that y'all work with?
Definitely football.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. See a lot of injuries in wrestling.
Yes.
I was going to say wrestling gets a little fast paced. We're pretty involved with the wrestling matches themselves. Like if there's blood, there's a blood timeout and they're calling on you. You have so many minutes. Injury timeout, the ref's looking at you to, you're basically determining if the kid forfeits or not. So it's a little different from football, but both are pretty intense.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess like what would be a slower version? Maybe basketball, not. I don't know.
I'll go with baseball. What do you think?
Baseball, yeah, okay.
I mean, baseball, yeah. It's a really nice contrast. Football's heavy, and then wrestling. It's kind of nice to get to watch a baseball game. Now, we still have things.
Sure.
And when they do happen, sometimes they're not so nice. But it is a little more slower pace. It's a nice way to end the school year, for sure.
Well, and I guess like with a golf or tennis, not necessarily there, but definitely treat them if something happens.
On call, in an on-call nature. Things do happen, but work on standby for those.
Oh, okay. I got you. I can't help but feel like I'm on a game show with this big old microphone,
I know. I was sitting here thinking, I was like, we need to get Michaela to quiz you and give you like a really easy question.
Exactly.
Like, what would be an easy question?
So what costs more, the Ben,
No.
Uncle Ben rice or SpaghettiOs? Okay, go ahead.
Give him an easy question. One of the easiest ones on your test. Let's see if he gets it right.
I probably won't.
I think you will.
I don't know.
Easiest question.
See there.
One of the easy.
Hey, if they got to think about how easy it is, it's
Give him
not
an
easy.
easy one. Give him an easy question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Think back to the past host of questions and pick your easiest one.
Man.
What you got?
What do you think?
Oh, I've got many, but I'll be too difficult. I don't want to go expert mode.
No expert mode.
I may have to phone a friend.
No, yeah. You better not phone me because I'm probably
You
not.
have to give them the choices too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you get? Is it multiple choice?
It's a multiple choice.
Okay, we get multiple choice.
So,
you got this. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Nothing like putting them on the spot.
Oh yeah, well they're trying to come up with one that they think you can get right.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah, probably.
Oh, we could do.
See, she's got one. She's thinking of one.
Wound.
Yeah.
What would you call this? What would happen?
Hey, dude.
Yeah.
I got an idea.
Okay. Okay, they're conferring.
This is gonna be.
This really does feel like a game show.
This is gonna be
Core
good.
temperature.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Sure,
you got one?
Go ahead.
Okay, and then you got to give them some.
Choice.
Yes,
Multiple
some choices.
Multiple
Okay.
choice.
All
4
right.
choices. Okay.
All right.
What is the core temperature of your body that you have to heat down to before transporting an athlete to the hospital?
After a heat stroke. Yeah.
After a
After a
heat
heat
stroke.
stroke.
Okay.
Okay, we
So
have
what are my choices?
4 choices.
Let's do 98, 100, 103, and 102.
I would say not 103.
I'm going to say 102. You say 103.
I'm thinking like, what's the temperature it gets to when you get a heat stroke? Like 105?
104, 105.
Yeah.
Thinking like, I would go 98 or 100. Well, no, not 98 because
that's
not 98.6 is your.
I'll say 102. What are you going to say?
I'll say 100.
Okay. What is it?
102. That's
Oh,
right.
thank
Look at that.
you. Yeah. Hey, watch this.
Like dropping our ears.
All right. Well, that's okay. All right. So did you get that?
Good job.
So,
You want a fist bump
hey,
on this one?
Darren
Hey.
won, Candace.
Hey, you want a fist?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right.
Good job, Darren. Good job.
So, as far as I know, you girls are talking about going into PT. I mean, after having coach, do you ever think you'll have that desire to do what he's doing and coach and kind of pay it forward? Or
Personally, I don't really have the desire to go into the field of athletic training,
Right.
although the two fields do overlap
Right.
a lot as
Yeah.
far as patient care and the type
Yeah.
of cases that you see.
yeah,
But as far as athletic training, like within the school or something, the amount of hours that you have to put in and the outside of work that it takes, I don't really have a desire for that. But he's definitely good for it.
but I think it probably brings a unique perspective, even as you pursue your career, right? Having that background's got to be a leg up, I would think.
Yes,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, as far as, I guess that one of the questions I have for you, Coach, is with the amount of kids that you see in today's time, how do you make sure, you're hitting on all cylinders and then winding up at the end of the day,
That's difficult.
game ready?
Yeah. Well, it comes down, I think, to doing all the small things correctly. So, like when it comes to managing all the hurt kids, the injuries, the doctors
Right.
coming in and managing all that, grades 7 through 12, we have a really good electronic medical record system.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Every time a kid, that iPad over there on that podium, they come in the door, they log in, where do you hurt? And then that goes to our system on the laptops where we're logging what we find in evaluation, what the treatments are going to be. So when they're coming in the door each day, there's a record that we can build on and we're tracking. Because, of course, without that, just winging it, that would be way too difficult.
Oh, yeah.
So we're tracking the injuries that way, the statuses, the kids that are being referred out or not. But you're right. Without the small things, we also have policies and procedures on how we handle
Right.
specific injury scenarios. So there's no, guessing game or gray area there.
Right.
But having everything in policy and procedure ahead of time and set up where you can just go and do and track, that's essential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. It's kind of like when we were in school. You ain't hurt, put a little dirt on it kind of thing. So
Yeah, that works too.
we've come a long way.
It's like that works.
Yeah, right,
Let me get
exactly.
you a Band-Aid.
Yeah. So, yeah. I can remember as a young coach, even the person that taught you how to tape an ankle was another coach, and it may or may not be the correct way.
Right.
So, but
yeah.
I think it's awesome that a school has that opportunity because again, speaking from an old coach seat, just having that off your table, because it's time consuming.
Very.
And when, I coached at a smaller school, but I mean, it really took all of us to get kids ready, that kind of thing. And like I say, who knows, it may or may not have been the correct way. So, one of the things that we like to talk about too, kind of the lighter side of things, an embarrassing moment that may have happened at some point, so I can only imagine, all the training and all the things that you do, there's got to be a embarrassing moment of some kind. So
can I go?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's
Can
like,
it be
which
about her?
one?
yeah, absolutely.
I might have one.
Okay.
She's like, great.
All right. Was this last year at Nationals? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right. She knows exactly what it is. So we trained all year in HOSA skills, right? She mentioned the 6 practical skills, and there's a big section. If the injury is on an appendage, and in the scenario they say right or left appendage, that you address the correct one, right?
Right.
And so we go through the whole year, medal at state, get to Nationals, get in the room, and they say right or left, and did you tape the corect one?
I did not.
No. We mixed up right or left, but it's okay. It's
So was it
but we give her a hard time about that.
So is it the
You were
pressure of
nervous.
Nationals, you think, or?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay, I
yes.
gotcha. Yeah. You probably felt pretty good about the procedure,
Oh, yeah.
and then you're like, oh wait.
You should have been like, oh, I thought you said left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do it so many times, it's like clockwork. And
Sure.
you get in there, and you're just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Get me
Right.
out of here.
Right.
That's okay. We just give her a hard time.
Do that this year.
Not
Yeah.
yet.
That's right.
So,
So what about y'all? Y'all have anything that in the world of training?
about you or her?
Either one.
No, for me, I can't wait.
Yeah.
What about you?
What do you think for Coach Liz?
See, they're,
Like
they're not old like you and I.
No,
But we got tons.
we have
of
tons
them.
of
Right. Yeah,
tons of
exactly.
embarrassing.
I mean,
moments.
we make fun of him a lot, but he doesn't really get embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
But
That's good. Yeah.
I'm immune to the ball jokes and
Yeah,
school jokes and all that
exactly,
stuff.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's right.
All good.
Hey, you got to learn to laugh at yourself. It's,
Yeah, yeah,
cares?
exactly. That's why I drag Candace around. I always got somebody to laugh at. I mean, that's
true.
the only
That's
reason she's
true.
part of this whole thing. So,
Don't be mean.
another thing that we find interesting. Now, Candace will act like she's right there with the two of y'all, but what's on your playlist right about now?
I like
Everybody knows what you listen to.
Wait,
Yeah,
just
you can
yeah.
say it.
throw
Your
it out
favorite
there.
artist, you can go. We know.
I like to listen to. Well, it just really depends. You know?
Right.
I listen to a lot of Drake,
Okay.
and I guess hip hop music.
Mhm.
That's in the
Drake, right?
Yeah.
Drake,
That's what it is.
Drake.
Yeah.
Okay.
rap.
All right.
okay. Your turn.
Mine would be probably a bunch of country. I
Mhm.
listened to a bunch of pop back from like when I was a kid
Mm-hmm.
type pop. Not now. That's
That's so
Terrible
funny.
stuff.
So what was that like in the mid to early 2000s?
yeah.
What was that?
Something like that.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
2015 ish.
Oh,
old music. 2015.
Oh
Not
my
old.
God.
Not
Wow.
old.
Yeah,
I said when
that's
Okay.
a
I was
long
a kid.
time ago.
Now I officially, feel
Um, But yeah, a bunch of country that my dad would not say is country.
So you're listening to the new country then, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sometimes.
I got you.
And
Yeah.
then a bunch of worship music
Okay. Yep.
most of the time.
Got that. Yeah.
I'm kind of all over the place.
Yep. Myself included.
I'm
yeah.
all over the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
You're all over the place.
So, Coach, what about you?
Well, see, I have my death metal playlist, but
Yeah.
they're not a big fan.
Gotcha.
So we stick to mostly classic rock and country.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that does the training room good.
Yeah, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing about classic rock and real country, I mean, it's not a huge leap. I mean, there's some good stuff in both of those.
Mhm.
So going forward, what advice? Let's say we got some eighth graders about to roll into their freshman year, and they're thinking about the program. What advice would you give them?
I would say take the opportunity because it's being handed to you. I was kind of hesitant to do this internship because I played soccer for so long,
Right.
and doing this would require me to take a lot of time out of soccer.
Right.
And so it took me a long time to decide whether I actually wanted to do this, but I knew I wasn't going to play soccer in college.
Right.
I'm not
Sure.
a D1 athlete at all. So I did this, and it's really helped me as far as choosing the career that I want to pursue. And in college, I feel like I'm already kind of ahead of the classmates that I'm going to see. So I'm really thankful for it. So I would just say take the opportunity.
Right. Well, you could be like Scottie Pippen and grow like 6-8 inches in school and become a D1 athlete. You know what I'm saying?
Never know. Huh?
So what about you? What advice would you give them?
I'm kind of the same way. Even if you want to go into the medical field, but you're not quite sure what you want to do, do the internship.
Right.
Go into sports medicine, because you still kind of get a look, and you develop critical thinking skills in the internship. And you learn hands-on patient care, and you learn wound care, and you learn so much that you can apply to anything related to the medical field. And especially kind of what Michaela said, there's a lot of schools, they don't offer sports medicine or offer any related medical professions. And it's such a prominent profession that's never going to go away. You're always going to need bedside care and healthcare professionals. So I think any freshman coming in, even if you don't want to do sports medicine, you're not interested in it, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Right.
Coach Lewis, that made me think of this, but about what percentage of like your students end up going into a medical field?
Medical
Is it
field.
a pretty high percentage?
Well, right now, so the athletic training percentage is actually pretty low right now. They recently, they're going through some things and have required masters up from bachelors and all that. But if you back up a little bit, that was never really my goal, is every kid needs to do exactly what I do.
Exactly.
And so in terms of sending kids to the medical field, the percentage, I don't have an exact number. I know it's very, very high.
Yeah.
I know all of our seniors that are leaving are declaring medical field majors, like dentistry, physical therapy, hematology, fancy.
Wow.
A lot of kids are going physician's assistant, nursing, just all sorts of things. We just had an x-ray tech finish school.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, medical field in general, the kids that we're putting out there, that percentage is really high, and I'm really proud of that.
That's awesome.
Right. Well, and this is kind of a crazy question. You don't have to say specifically what it was, but have you seen an injury where you were just like, whoa, kind of grossed out, freaked out by it or not?
I think probably the grossest thing I've seen was probably my sophomore year, when that kid fell off the playground in the intermediate and broke his arm. It was his radius and his ulna, and it was crazy.
Oh yeah.
It looked crazy.
Yeah, I've seen them that go like this.
I've seen pictures, and I was like, oh, it just makes me.
Michaela, what about you? Anything kind of?
A bunch of broken arms in wrestling, and then we had a kid that got hit in the knee in football, and it swelled up really big. He had bursitis at that point.
Gotcha.
And it was like humongous, and it kept getting bigger while he was in here. It turned different colors. It was all weird.
Wow.
Wow.
I think another is probably, I don't know if Michaela was here, but he had hit the metal bench outside, where they sit, the football players sit.
Right.
And his whole patellar tendon was exposed.
Oh yeah, the deep cut.
Yeah.
It was a little graphic. Yep, it was.
See,
Nice.
gross things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we need folks like y'all, right? Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So typically, let's just throw it out there. Who deals better with injuries, the guys or the gals?
I would say us.
I think so.
Yeah. So like even athletes. I mean, do you think the female athletes are tougher, if you will, or I guess it just okay. There we go. All right. So okay then.
It depends on the athlete.
But
I got you. Right. Yeah.
Most of the time, no.
Yeah, because everybody has their own tolerance
Pain
for pain,
tolerance,
right?
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess again, when are nationals coming up?
In June.
The third week in June.
That's
Right.
That's right.
All right.
Wow.
So left.
Yeah.
Okay. That's about all the coaching I can give you. I mean, that's all I got.
We'll go right on our hands. Let it ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything we can do.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a story about a
Love
kid
it.
that played football one time. They had to put like a different colored shoe on his feet, so when they called the play, he would know either go left or right. So,
That's a great idea.
so maybe we could do that with wristbands or something.
Great.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
Hey, I got all the confidence in the world. You got
Oh,
girls
yeah,
are going
you
to go
guys
out
are
there and
gonna
do great
great.
things.
Y'all
So,
are gonna do
well,
great.
we appreciate y'all giving us time today. And again, our apologies with, Candace trying to set this thing up. She's involved.
Everybody knows that's not
crazy,
true.
so.
They know I just walk in here.
But anyway, again, keep up the good work. Good luck in the future. And it sounds like you girls are going places. Coach, sounds like you got an incredible program.
Thank you.
And thanks for taking a few minutes to share that with us.
Sure.
Enjoyed it. It's been great.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that will wrap it up for this edition of Spilling the Tea in Studio D. Darren Beckwith.
Candace Bennett.
Yeah. Okay. Until next time.